Honestly, I think this is probably the deepest, most authentic, and most vulnerable I've ever been on stage. I'm kind of bearing my soul on that stage, and so far from the workshops that I've been doing since February, people really appreciate it, and it allows them to heal a little bit with people that they've lost in their own life.
All right, welcome to Grief Sucks, guys. I'm here to make you laugh about something that ain't supposed to be funny, but it is.
He has been intentionally making people laugh his entire life. He's taken his penchant to be funny and turned it into a lucrative career. But his latest pursuit endeavors to bridge two concepts that most people would say don't really belong together: grief and humor. Welcome to the conversation, Kev on Stage. He's bringing his one man comedy tour to Charleston, South Carolina this weekend. Sunday, August 16th, he'll be at the Charleston Music Hall for his Grief Sucks tour. And right now, he's here talking to me. Kev, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Your first friend, manager, brother passed away not too long ago, and we can tell from your videos that he was very special to you. How are you able to get on stage and open up to strangers about grief and his death?
My comedy has always been my life, how I see the world, what's going on in my life. It's what makes it original, what makes it me, what makes it authentic. And I think, Grief Sucks is just an extension of that, continuing on to pull from things that matter to me. And there's nothing that mattered to me more than my brother, along with my wife and kids. But for me, this is my gift. So it's kind of like a gift to him, a way to honor his legacy and also help other people who are struggling with grief. Most of us done lost somebody that means a lot to us.
So what's so funny about grief?
I mean, listen, you ever been to a funeral and ain't laughed? You a better man than me. Because I've been at some funerals and I done seen some stuff that should not be funny, but is funny. And grief, although sad, can also be hilarious, and finding the humor in what most people would consider a non-humorous thing takes a certain skill and craft. And I'm very grateful to God that he's given me ability to make things that are not traditionally funny, and therefore help people process something that is hard to deal with.
Would you say that each show on this tour is the same? Is it a performance, or is each one different?
I mean, every show's always different because every audience is different. As comedians, we feed off of energy. You can perform the exact same show the exact same way, and audience to audience, show to show, day to day, night to night, it's a totally different show. So in that sense, every show is different because every audience is different.
So another question then would be, how are you able to do this every night? Talking about grief and something so personal has to be a pull, an emotional pull. And I would think that would be very difficult. How sustainable is it to be able to pour out your heart every single night on this, 31 city tour?
Yeah, it's tough. Stand up always takes a lot of energy. One thing that I've adopted over the years is when I'm on the road, I don't do a whole bunch of stuff because I try to conserve my energy to be able to give the paying people the best show possible. And this show is even more of that. It's a very hard show to perform compared to regular comedy because the subject matter is heavier, and this isn't grief in theory. This isn't about a person in theory. This is about a person that was very important to me. So, a lot of naps. I take a lot of naps, a lot of biscuits, things that make me happy, strawberry jam, steady diet of that, and a lot of naps keeps me ready for a great show.
Instagram post.
And tell me about that process. How did you decide, this is something that's going to be good for other people as well?
I didn't know that, honestly. When I wrote the show, I just wanted to offer my comedic spin on grief. I obviously hoped that people would enjoy it and it would help them, but I don't think I started from that point. But immediately after the first show, people would come back and talk to me, or I saw like threads and TikToks and things from people who were at some of the early workshops, I then understood just how me being very specific about my brother's loss and my struggles and the way I see the world regarding that, how that helped other people with what they were dealing with.
At this show, will there be more tears of sadness or tears of joy?
Does your body even know the difference? Sometimes you laugh to the point of tears. Sometimes you cry to the point of laughter. I think it's all healthy. There will be both. You will cry laughing. The show is designed to make you laugh. But I ain't gonna hold you, brother. There's some times where you gonna have to sit here and you gonna have to deal with it. You gonna have to look at that grief in the face. Now, people enjoy the show without crying. Everybody doesn't cry. I don't cry on every show, but I don't hold myself from back from crying if that's what I feel.
So, for the audience to have some kind of perspective, describe your brother to us and your relationship and what he would think about this particular show.
You know, the thing about my brother and I is we had a great relationship. He was my first friend. He was my manager. He was my, business partner on certain things. I think he would love the show. That's what gives me so much peace about doing the show, is I know he would have loved it. He would have loved that he is the subject of something for an hour. And it's talking about how great he was and how much he meant to me. And also it's funny. So, and also it's real. He was a very authentic person as well. He loved Thanksgiving, for example. And he, when everybody goes around and says what they're thankful for, which is very common in Black families, he always made everybody cry. So I think he'd even enjoy the fact that there's some parts about this show that make you cry.
Give me an example of something funny that you get out of a funeral.
I've been to funerals where the preacher's bombing the eulogy, just terribly prepared, not delivering, losing the audience. That's hilarious to me. That's happened more times than once. Also, I went to a funeral one time and the preachers were like dueling over who can sing the song the loudest. This is hilarious to me. Those are just the ones I've been at. This doesn't even considering the ones that I've seen online. So Black people especially, we have a tendency to be very expressive in everything, and sometimes that expression is humorous.
Like the dove. If I had wings like this
Man,
dove.
I was just gonna bring that up. They were dead serious, no pun intended. But that is a very funny video. I actually met somebody who was at that funeral one time,
Wow.
and he said they loved that I made a video about that. But yeah, like that wasn't supposed to be funny, but he choked the life out of that bird, and it hit the ground like a rock. Hilarious.
From the stage, you're talking about subject matter that an audience may take a little differently, especially depending on the level of grief that they're going through at that time. How do you maneuver through that? How do you not take it personally that maybe they didn't laugh here because they're emotional?
That's the thing about this show. It's just my job to present it. I can't tell you how to receive it. Each show, people laugh at parts that are different. There's times where something is meant to be somber and it is taken as somber and is a somber moment. The next night, something meant to be somber is taken as a joke, and vice versa. It's my job to present it. It's the audience's responsibility to interpret it. If I paint a painting and post it in the museum, I can't tell you what it means to you. I just present it to you. And I think I've done the same thing with this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, KevOnStage is coming to Charleston, South Carolina this Sunday, August 16th. Tickets are still available at Charleston Music Hall. You can go on and check those out. Have you ever been to Charleston before, Kev?
I have not. It's my first time.
I know you say you don't do a lot when you're here. You got to make a visit. You and Liz come back and really see all that the city has to offer.
Yeah, I've been doing some research to make some videos, and I was like, man, Charleston seems like a good time to spend a weekend.
It really is. So come on back. We'd love to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, KevOnStage here in Charleston for his Grief Sucks tour.